All right, here's a video for 4.2 practice A, and we're going to be just combining like terms here mostly on this one. A little bit of distributive property and FOIL down there at the bottom. I circled the ones that I'm going to go over with you, and these are all polynomials. And first they're asking us to find the sum, and I'm just going to put CLT because really you're only combining like terms on these. You're looking for terms that have the same exponent. So a 6, the negative 6x squared and the 10x squared are like terms. The 3x and the 4x are like terms. And the negative 7 and the negative 2 are like terms. So if we combine all of those, negative 6 plus positive 10 would be a positive 4x squared. You've got to subtract the 10 minus the 6 because 6 is negative. The 3x is positive, the 4x is positive, so that's easy. Just add them together, you get 7x. And the negative 7 and the negative 2, they're both negative, so you're going to add and just keep it negative. So that was 1. Number 3 is going to be another addition, so we're going to look for like terms. Now, I don't see any other x to the 4th power. So we're going to just put that one over here by itself, 5x to the 4th. That's the biggest exponent. So we're going to leave that one first. Then we have only, so that's this first one. This first one, we only have a 2x to the 3rd. So that means that that has no other like term either. X squared has a like term. So 3 and a negative 7. Since one's positive, one's negative, you got to subtract, and there's more negatives. So negative 4x squared. And then the negative 6x and the positive 6x, those are just going to cancel because one's negative, one's positive. And then you've got negative 10 and a positive 1. That means you got to subtract those, and there's more negatives, so negative 9. So there's your answer to 3. Numbers 4 and 6, they're asking us to find the difference, which means we have to distribute the negative. So we have to make this a negative 8x cubed. We have to make this a negative 2x squared. We have to make this a positive 5x. We have to make this a positive 1. Now we can combine the like terms. So if you look at the x cubes, you've got 4x cubes in the front. You've got negative 8x cubes in the back. So you got to subtract them, and you're going to get a negative 4x cubed. Now we're going to go to the x squareds. You've got 6 of them in the front, negative 2 of them in the back. So 6 minus 2 is going to give you 4x squareds, but it's positive because there was more positive. There were 6 positives. Now you're looking at the x's, and they're negative 9x and a positive 5x. Again, you got to subtract because they're different signs, and there's more negatives, so negative 4x. A lot of 4's in this one. And then you've got a positive 1, and you've got another positive 1, so 1 plus 1 is just 2. So that was number 4. Then number 6 has also a negative. They're subtracting, so the subtraction has to be distributed to all the terms. So negative 6x to the 4th, positive 9x cubed, negative x squared, positive 3. Now you can combine. But if you look at number 6 there are no x to the 5th terms in the second one. So you're going to have to just start with the 7x to the 5th. And then the 6x to the 4th, the negative 6x to the 4th doesn't have a like term in the front one. So negative 6x to the 4th just stays. We have to stay in descending order, so 5 and then 4. Now we're looking for the 3 exponents with the third power. So we've got a 4 to the third power positive and a 9 to the third power positive. So we just add them. 13 x to the third power. Now we're looking for the x squareds, negative 2 of them there, and -1 of them down here. So -2 plus -1, since they're both negative, you just add them up, -3x squared. Now we're looking for x, and there is no x in the second one, but there is an x in the first one. So just bring it over, 12x, and you add 0 to it, it just stays. And we have a +5 and a +3 as the last two numbers, so +8. So that would be your number 6, +8 there. All right, let's move it up. Now we've got to go to multiplying. Okay, so you can see the answer to 6, but the work is up there. If you need to, stop the video and rewatch or anything like that, you can. Okay, so I'm going to go to the rest here. So number 8 is just a distributive property one. You've got a 5x squared on the outside, so you are just going to distribute. So 5 times 3, you'll get 15. And you have, let's see, x squared, and x squared is x to the 4th. When you're multiplying x's, you add exponents. 5 times 7 is 35. And you got 2 x's, and you got one more x, so you got 3 x's, x to the 3rd. And then 5 times 6 is 30. And then you've got an x squared, and that's it. So you got to bring over the x squared. So that's your answer to number 8. But number 10 is going to take us a little bit more work here. So I'm going to do number 10 right there. And I'm going to rewrite it. We have 8x to the second power minus 3x plus 1. And then we've got our second parentheses of -3x plus 2. Okay, so what we can think of is just distributing all 3 of these first terms. That might be the easiest way to think about this. Take the 8x squared and distribute it to those two. Take the -3x and distribute it to those two. Take the 1 and distribute it to those two. And then combine any like terms that you have. So let's do the 8x squared first. 8x squared times -3x is going to be a -24, because you got 8 times -3. And you're going to end up with 3 x's, because you had 2 in the first term of 8x squared. You get 2 x's, and then you had a 1x. So you add those together. Now you have 3 x's. 8x squared times the +2 is 8 times 2 is 16, and you only have x squared. Now we'll take the second term, -3x, and distribute it to both. -3x times -3x is +9x squared. I'm going to put that under the other x squared because they're like terms. -3x times a +2 is a -6x. Now let's take the 1 and distribute it. Now when you distribute a 1, everything just stays the same, because 1 times a -3x is still -3x. 1 times 2 is still 2. But hopefully you can see my like terms here. So the 24x cubed doesn't have a like term, so you're just going to bring that down. These two together are going to make 25x squared. They're both positive. You just add 9 and 16 together, you get 25. These are both negative, so you just add them up, you get -9x, and then plus 2. That's your answer to number 10. That's how you multiply with 2 parentheses. So you're going to distribute the first one to all the terms in the second one to all the terms, and the third one to all the terms. And make it easy for yourself. Let's see. Next is 12. Describe the error. Okay, so let's see what they did. They distributed the 3x, so -12x to the 4th. Okay, that works. Then they multiplied -3x squared times negative times negative should be a positive. So let's fix that to a plus. 5, and that's x cubed. That's good. And then -3x times +7 is not negative. That would, or not positive, it would be negative. Negative times a positive is a negative, 21x squared. So now we fixed it, and now it's correct. 13. you have to multiply 3 parentheses together. You have to do 2 at a time. You can't do 3 at one time. So we're going to need to shrink this up a little bit. So I have some room over here to do number 13. Okay, so 13, we're going to rewrite it, x minus 1 times x plus 4 times x minus 3. Okay, so we want to just do the first two first. So we're going to distribute the first term to both and the second term to both. So it's really FOIL, but you can think of it as distributing twice. X times x, you're going to get x squared. X times 4 is 4x when you do the outside terms. Negative 1 times x is just negative 1x. Negative 1 times 4 is just negative 4. So you're going to end up with x squared plus 3x minus 4. That's your answer when you multiply the first two together. Then you bring down this x minus 3. And you just do what I said before. You are just going to take this first term and distribute it to both terms. The second term goes to both terms. And the third term goes to both terms. So when I multiply x squared times x, I get x cubed. X squared times negative 3 would be negative 3x squared. Now I go to the second term. 3x times x would be a positive 3x squared. 3x times negative 3 is going to be negative 9x. Now I go to the last term. Negative 4 times x is negative 4x. And I'm putting like terms on top of each other. Negative 4 times negative 3 is positive 12. So you're going to get x cubed, but notice these x squareds cancel. Negative 3, positive 3. Negative 13x and plus 12. Okay, so that was 13. Now let's go to 17. 17. Okay, we have is, let's see, we have these two parentheses. So this is a nice easy one. You're going to just multiply the first term times both. So x times x, you get x squared. X times negative 8 is negative 8x. Then you're going to take the 8 and give it to both terms. So 8 times x is 8x. And you can see that those are going to cancel out. 8 times negative 8 is negative 64. So x squared minus 64 would be your answer to that one. And 18, whenever you see a little square on a parentheses, okay, that means just write it twice. Write the exact same parentheses twice. And then do your FOIL. So y times y, you're going to take the first term and distribute it, and you're going to take the second term and distribute it. Y times y, you get y squared. Y times 4, you get 4y. 4 times y, you get another 4y. Those are not going to cancel. They're the same. And then 4 times 4 is 16. So when you combine all of these, you're going to get y squared plus 8y plus 16 is your answer to that one. Okay, so that would be 4.2. Just working with polynomials. That should be plenty of information to get you through the puzzle of 4.2 puzzle time. So thanks for watching.